I want to know what the last lap was like from your perspective.
Oh, I'm emotionally drained at this point. You've got to give me a little bit of grace. I'm lost for words, but the end of this race was so nerve wracking. And it's more than that. It's 500 miles. It's nerve wracking all the way up to the finish. And then to make the finish as crazy as it was, it just takes it to another level. I mean, emotionally, I was pretty taxed. It was, a one lap shootout. I knew we had to put everything on the line to win this race. For me, I was here with the attitude that we were winning or we were putting the car on the wall. I didn't care what the other result was. It was winning or nothing. And it's a little bit cheesy to say that, but that's what the Indy 500 is all about. You either win the race or you didn't, and you leave here with a broken heart. And I didn't want to leave here for another year with a broken heart.
Were you in the good position coming out of that red flag, being in P2? Is that how it
I think
works?
so. Yeah, I think there was second or third was probably the right place to be, but for a one lap shootout, second was a good spot. Ericsson could have played it differently. I could have played it differently. You can't predict exactly how you're going to work it. If I had a little better launch, I probably would have tried to pass him in turn one, but I didn't. And then I had to wait for the back straight. And I actually think that worked well. And if timing wise, it probably was just about what we needed. So you can't script it, and you can't always figure out exactly the scenario that's going to play out. You've got to be very reactionary and very flexible. If you're not flexible in these races, then it's hard to capitalize on the moment when it really happens. And there's always that moment. And for me, it was off turn three. That's where, or turn two, I should say. That's where it was going to happen. And then it was just holding it to the line and trying to get it done.
Talking about scripted, so you start 17th. What's it like having to be patient from the get-go, but then realizing you need to take your moments when you get your shots?
Well, for us, it's been tough the last 4 years. We've not qualified nearly as well as we expect. There's a standard at Team Penske of excellence, and our qualifying performance has been well under that, and we've had to field questions over and over again about where we're at as a team. And the one thing I knew, even starting 17th this year, that we had a great race car, and it didn't matter where we started. We would have time to work through the field and try and win this race. And so right away when the green flag dropped, I said, I think my car is really good, and it's capable of being up front. It's capable of giving us a chance. And so, yeah, I was picking my moments and just biding our time. And we made progress quicker than we expected. By lap 50, I think we were, pretty much near the top five, and that was ahead of schedule for us. So, yeah, it was all coming together really nicely, and it doesn't happen without a great team. You've got to drive the car well, but if you don't have a great car underneath you, it's not fast. You don't have great pit stops. You don't choose the right strategy. You won't win this race. You've got to be perfect all around. And so I'm really thankful to drive for a team like Team Penske that gets the details right, because the details are what matter on a day like this.
How nerve-wracking is it to have 3 red flags in the final however many few laps and then try to figure out how you're going to get to the front?
It was a pressure cooker today. You really had to dig deep and figure out a way to refocus constantly through to the end of the race. And, I felt confidence in what we were doing as a team. I felt confidence in my car, and that was keeping me going. So I was it's easy to get emotional here. There's so many people. I mean, you have, near 500,000 people in this one place, and it's impossible to not realize the energy that's around you. So you got to suppress the emotion a bit and focus in. And I just tried to do that on the very end and seize the moment.
You told me last week that winning an Indy 500 shouldn't define anyone's career, but now that you have one, what does it do for your resume, do you think?
I truly believe that it shouldn't define your career. I'm going to continue to say that. I think for most people, it does define a career. And so others will put this as a great victory in my, career path. But I mean, there's no doubt I'm so thankful to be here and to be able to, be a part of a team that won this race. I mean, I can't describe to you how special it is. It's more special than any other race. There's no doubt. It's the hardest race to win. But I don't want to ever say that it defined my career. But I'm thankful that it was we were able to work it out. You come here a lot, it doesn't work out. For it to fully flow this time, pretty special.
Yeah, you mentioned the fans and how many were there. Why was it important for you to slide under that fence and go celebrate with them for a minute?
I have always dreamed of being able to go into the crowd here if we won this race. And Indy it is undescribable. The energy level here is like nowhere else in the world. You won't find this level of people and this type of energy. So I really wanted to be a part of that. And I said, if I win the race, I'm going to that crowd.
How good did that milk taste?
Oh, amazing. Milk is probably not the number one choice for every athlete if they win an event or a game or a race. But for me, it's a pretty good choice. I think it's thirst quenching. It's delicious. It was ice cold. I knew the farmer that handed me the milk. They choose a farmer in Indiana, and it comes from their farm, the milk that you actually are served. And it was so cool to see him. I'd met his family. I'd seen his actual farm. And so for me, it was just full. It was full circle. It was so cool to live that moment, to finally be able to drink the milk.
And you do that, and then some woman kisses you who's wearing a tiara. Who was that?
Yeah. So that's what's
She's the queen.
She's the princess queen, or the queen of the princesses. So the Indy 500 Princess Festival is this it's this great group where a lot of girls are a part of it. It's very community driven. So they're doing community Indy 500 is all about community. It's all about what are we doing during the month of May, and everybody's a part of it. And they are really involved in the community, whether it's charity events or it's working with, the kids in school here all the way up through high school. And so these group of princesses, they're all together, and it's tradition that the queen gets to give the kiss to the winner. And so that was pretty extra special.
She planted a good one on you too. You had the lipstick mark on your cheek and everything.
Oh yeah. I wasn't wiping it off. My wife, Ashley, she said, keep it. You earned that.
Nice. What else are you going to do to celebrate tonight, man?
Oh, I have no idea. I think the party's getting lined up. I've not had time, but apparently everyone is working on what we're doing. So it's going to be a long night. But that's what Indy's all about. That's why we're here.
Awesome. Josef, again, congratulations. We can't wait to see you back here in a few months.
Thanks, man. See you soon.